Happy New Year, guys. Cloud Certified here with our very first featured travel video, and today we are taking you to Negril, Jamaica. Here at Cloud Certified, we are all about giving you helpful information about travel and flight training. If you want to get some Cloud Certified merch, you can always visit us at wearecloudcertified.com. All right, let's get on with it. So before you jump on that plane to Jamaica, there are a few things you need to take care of first. Now keep in mind that for updated information, you should always visit the Jamaica Tourism Board website, which will be listed in the description below. Currently, Jamaica requires you to take a COVID-19 Pcr test within 10 days of your travel date to Jamaica. The website has detailed information on which type of COVID tests are accepted, so be sure to check that out. For example, we got our test done at an urgent care facility, and others in our group got it done at a CVS, and all of these tests were accepted. After you get your negative COVID results, you have to then apply for travel authorization on that same website. This application is done within 5 days of your trip, and you will generally get approved within 2 days of your application. It's a bit nerve-wracking because you get approved very close to your departure date, and if 2 days have passed and you haven't heard a response, you can message the Jamaican Tourism WhatsApp number listed in the description, and they will speed up your approval. Now, getting to Jamaica is the easy part. For our trip, we chose JetBlue Airways, and it was a great choice. At the airport prior to boarding, JetBlue gate agents will check your passport and your approved travel authorization, so please be sure to have that with you because they will not let you on the plane without it. Now, we had all of our travel documentation printed, but if you have it on your phone, that's okay as well. The flight to Montego Bay from Fort Lauderdale, Florida was an easy 1 hour and 30 minutes, and that goes by very fast thanks to JetBlue's awesome in-seat entertainment system. Also during this flight, JetBlue gave us a snack pouch that has a small water bottle and a couple of little snack bags. The arrival into Montego Bay was amazing. Clear blue water right outside the window, and we had an awesome view of the approach. Once we landed and deplaned, there were health officials with full PPE gear waiting for us at the airport. And due to airport restrictions, we couldn't film this portion, but these officials took the temperature of every passenger coming off the airplane. And then, after waiting for about 45 minutes in line, we were interviewed by the Jamaican health officials for the purpose of contact tracing. Pretty much, they just want to know where you're staying and your contact details. After that, it's quick to get through immigration and out into Jamaica. Now, as soon as we came out of the airport, many local taxi drivers offered us rides. But luckily for us, we had booked our transportation ahead of time through our hotel, and our driver Tony was waiting for us. Initially though, we thought about renting a car in Jamaica, but didn't want to go through the hassle that comes along with that. Now, if you do want to rent a car, keep in mind that Jamaica operates their vehicles on the left side of the road, and some drivers on the road will keep you at the edge of your seat. So we do highly recommend you booking your transportation ahead of time so that you get a great price and an approved tour operator who strictly follows the COVID travel guidelines. During our 1 hour 30-minute van ride to the hotel in Negril, we made a pit stop along the way to get some snacks. When we stepped into the store, we were told by the store clerk to sanitize our hands, and honestly, during our entire trip, everywhere we went, we were required to either sanitize our hands or wash our hands at a wash station. So big thumbs up to everybody in Jamaica who are trying their best to keep us all safe. Next up, we arrived at our hotel, the Tensing Pen Resort, and this place was stunning. As a part of their check-in process, the resort staff took all of our temperatures and gave us a health questionnaire while the other staff members disinfected our bags. After check-in, we had our welcome drinks to an amazing view. The dining deck and the bar was looking out to the ocean, and it's a great place to hang out with friends and relax. After this, we went to our rooms, and they were very comfy and had spectacular views of the ocean. The resort was also surrounded by trees and lots of greenery, which created beautiful pathways. Now, one unique thing about Tensing Pen was that it had no sandy beach, but just a rocky shoreline. This actually worked out great for us because this landscape made the ocean look like a giant pool that you can just dive into, and we did that quite a bit. Since there's no sand clouding the water was very clear and you can see all the way to the bottom. And just when we thought it couldn't get any better, we found the wooden bridge. The bridge is a fantastic jumping spot, and you can also use it to get across to the other side, but for us, we mainly use it for jumping. Now, along the rocky shore, you also get some cool coral formations, so that means you can snorkel. You can either bring your own gear or rent them from the resort for a small fee. The good thing is there's always a lifeguard on duty as well, and they were always happy to join us in the water and point out different creatures to us and even perform some stunts. Speaking of the water, the resort also has an infinity pool looking out to the ocean, and this was an awesome place to relax and catch an amazing Caribbean sunset. Now, as far as food went, there was an on-site restaurant and bar, and there were other hotels nearby as well. These restaurants, they serve food all day, so it's easy to grab a bite at any time. But keep in mind though that as of this video, Negril has a curfew that starts at 7 p.m. So any restaurant you go to will have to stop services by that time. And speaking of time, it's also very important to know that the Jamaican services are on island time, which means you will have to be very patient until you get your meals, as it can take longer than what you're used to. Now, during our trip, we went out and tried food from other places as well. Our favorite meal was served at a local place located next to a hardware store in an unpaved parking lot in the town of Negril. The food portions at this place were huge and the prices were very low. For example, 5 of us ate for $35 total and we were stuffed. Comparatively, in the resort restaurants, you can expect to pay normal American prices and the food is still good. Speaking of resorts, one very popular place in Negril is Rick's Cafe. If you ever go on TripAdvisor or search for tours in Negril, Rick's Cafe is at the top of the list. To be honest, when we visited Rick's Cafe, we found it to be a bit average. The service was decent, the views were great, but the food was mediocre. You can say that it's a bit of a tourist trap as well, and there's a lot of tourists that come there from all kinds of excursions. One cool thing about Rick's though is that they have a small area with cliffs, so if you're into cliff jumping, you can do it or you can watch somebody else do it. Literally right next to Rick's Cafe is Ivan's Bar, and the vibe here was completely different. This place featured long green entryways and stunning ocean views in a much more intimate setting, and of course much better service and great food, so definitely be sure to check it out. Now, stepping away from the resort area, you find 7 Mile Beach, which is a gorgeous stretch of pristine Caribbean bliss. Now, due to COVID-19, there are a few tourists here, and with that, you get 2 things. 1, the beaches look empty and untouched, but 2, the hotels along the shoreline look dull without the hustle and bustle of tourism. Due to this very reason, Jamaican hotels and resorts are offering really attractive promotions right now, such as deep discounts and free nights, so be sure to check online for these deals. Also, due to the curfew I mentioned earlier, nightlife is currently non-existent in Jamaica, so keep that in mind as well when you are booking your stay. Now, don't let the lack of nightlife deter you from your Jamaican vacation, as there are plenty of other things to do. Now, one of our favorite activities is scuba diving, and we were able to do that thanks to our friends at Negril Adventure Divers located right on 7 Mile Beach. Now, in our group, we have 3 certified divers and 1 person who has never gone diving before. When we arrived at the dive shop, we were greeted by the owners and our temperatures were taken right away. After signing our lives away, we tried on our equipment while our non-diver friend Noways watched a safety video for his very first Discover dive. So after we got our dive equipment ready, we hung out by the beach while our Discover diver worked on some basic scuba skills with his dive master. After that's done, we were on the boat heading out to our very first dive site while dive master Ryan gave us a dive briefing. Since tourism is a bit slow in Jamaica, we had the whole boat to ourselves and it was great to have some extra space. Once we got to the dive site, we backrolled into the water one by one and the adventure began. Our first dive site was called the Shallow Airplane, and it's called that because, any guesses? Because it's a small airplane wreck. Now, although the wreck wasn't massive, it was still fun to see a bit of aviation underwater and to see small corals forming inside the plane and outside the plane. After the airplane wreck, our second dive site was a reef filled with fish and some other creatures such as crabs and eels. Our Discover dive buddy Noways also joined in on the fun, and he was very excited to see and breathe in the underwater world for the very first time. So kudos to his instructor Ryan, who was very professional and gave our buddy an experience of a lifetime. So let's hear from our new diver about what it's like to dive for the first time, and also from dive masters Ryan and Oral.
How was your Discover dive? Absolutely epic. I was nervous, but thanks to these guys over here, they helped me calm down, gave me some great tips, and It was an amazing feeling. I would love to come back here and dive in with you guys.
Yeah, man. So,
As you should too.
So that's the thing with the scuba diving, you know. It's so attractive. It's like a beautiful girl. You see her, you're attracted to her, you keep going, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Alright, man. How was those dives just now?
Yeah, well, the dives were really great. You know, the visibility today it wasn't 100, but we got like what, about 50 feet visibility today. The water temperature was about 82. The weather here today, as you can see, it's really calm and sunny. Not a lot of wind today, so it makes the diving even greater than it normally is.
Nice.
So overall, the diving was good and the crew was great. We couldn't ask for much more. And now we get to the end of our vacation and our driver Tony took us to Times Square to do some shopping. Normally, Times Square is filled with tourists, but lots of things have changed in Jamaica due to this pandemic. And here's Tony giving us an insight on what it's like right now.
From March, it's just like this, slow.
And normally, how does a place like this look?
Oh, lots of people from all over. From the all-inclusive, small hotels, they come here, they shop.
And do you think right now is a safe time for people to visit Negril?
Well, for bargain, maybe better, less people, you know, but otherwise, still slow, you know.
Now there were still a bunch of things we couldn't do in Jamaica or we couldn't get done in Jamaica due to COVID, as some attractions were closed or had limited hours. There were a few attractions that were open, but transportation times to these venues were a bit long, so we decided to keep things in Negril. So all in all, is it safe to travel to Jamaica right now? We think so. Of course, it isn't risk-free, but we feel that the airlines, hotels, and individuals that we came across on this journey did their very best to keep us safe. So if you're interested in getting tropical, then consider including Jamaica in your travel plans. So until next time, Happy New Year, stay safe, and take care. We'll see you soon.